Hello, and welcome to this channel, where we explore the exciting world of finance through the lens of books. I'm thrilled to be your guide on this journey, as we dive into some of the most fascinating and thought-provoking financial literature out there. Whether you're an investor, entrepreneur, or just someone looking to level up their financial game, this channel is for you. Through our book summaries, we'll explore different perspectives on money management, investing, and wealth building, and distill the key takeaways so you can apply them to your own life. So, whether you're a seasoned pro or a curious newcomer, join us as we explore the world of finance, one book at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Today, we dive into the fascinating world of finance and psychology with a book that has been making waves in the investment community. If you're someone who's interested in building wealth, investing in the stock market, or just making better decisions with your money, then you're in for a treat. This book is called The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, and it's a masterpiece of clear thinking, deep insights, and practical wisdom. In this episode, we'll explore some of the key ideas and lessons from this book, and hopefully, we'll come away with a better understanding of how our minds work when it comes to money, and how we can use that knowledge to improve our financial lives. So, fasten your seatbelts, put your thinking caps on, and get ready for a journey into the fascinating world of human behavior and money. Chapter 1. No One's Crazy. In this chapter, the author highlights how the unpredictability of financial markets can make people feel like they're going crazy. He explains that this is because people often confuse risk and uncertainty, and that it's important to understand the difference between the two. He also discusses how people have different beliefs and experiences when it comes to money, and that it's crucial to understand our own unique relationship with money. Chapter 2. Luck and Risk. This chapter explores the role of luck in financial success. The author argues that luck plays a much larger role in our financial outcomes than we often acknowledge, and that acknowledging this can help us avoid the tendency to attribute success solely to our own abilities. The chapter also touches on the concept of risk and how it's important to understand and manage risk in our financial lives. Chapter 3. Never Enough. In this chapter, the author discusses the concept of enough and how our desires for more can be insatiable. He explains that this is because we often compare ourselves to others, and that it's important to recognize that financial decisions are relative, and that there is no objective measure of enough. Chapter 4. Confounding Compounding. Compounding is one of the most important concepts in finance, and this chapter explores why it can be so difficult for people to understand. The author uses examples and stories to illustrate the power of compounding, and explains how small changes in financial habits can have a big impact over time. Chapter 5. Getting Wealthy versus Staying Wealthy. This chapter explores the difference between getting wealthy and staying wealthy. The author explains that getting wealthy is often about taking risks, while staying wealthy is about avoiding risks. He also discusses how wealth can change people's behavior and how it's important to stay grounded and remember the importance of relationships and community. Chapter 6. Tails, You Win. In this chapter, the author discusses the importance of being prepared for rare and unpredictable events, or tail events. He argues that tail events are often the most important events when it comes to financial outcomes, and that it's important to prepare for them even if they seem unlikely. Chapter 7. Freedom. In this chapter, Housel discusses the idea of financial freedom and how it can mean different things to different people. He explains that financial freedom is not just about having a certain amount of money, but also about having the ability to make choices and take risks. Housel emphasizes the importance of having a buffer of savings and avoiding debt, as these factors can limit one's financial freedom. He also highlights the psychological aspect of financial freedom, as having control over one's finances can lead to a sense of security and peace of mind. Chapter 8. Man in the Car Paradox. The man in the car paradox is a concept that explores how wealth and status are often displayed through material possessions such as cars. But this does not necessarily reflect true wealth. Housel explains how this paradox is the result of the interplay between social norms, marketing, and personal insecurities. He argues that true wealth is more about freedom and security, rather than displaying status through material possessions. Chapter 9. Wealth is what you don't see. This chapter expands on the idea that true wealth is not always reflected through material possessions. Housel highlights the importance of considering invisible assets, such as a good reputation, a supportive community, and personal relationships. He emphasizes that these intangible assets can often be more valuable than material possessions and can contribute to long-term financial success. Chapter 10. Save money. Housel emphasizes the importance of saving money as a fundamental aspect of personal finance. He notes that saving money is not just about having more money in the bank, but it can also provide a sense of security and flexibility. Housel discusses various strategies for saving money, including budgeting, automation, and mindful spending. Chapter 11. Reasonable and rational. In this chapter, Housel argues that being reasonable is often more important than being rational when it comes to personal finance. He explains that being rational requires making decisions based purely on numbers and data, which can be difficult in practice due to emotional biases and uncertainties. On the other hand, being reasonable involves making decisions that balance both logic and emotions, which can lead to more sustainable and effective financial decisions. Chapter 12. Surprise. Housel discusses the role of unexpected events and surprises in personal finance. He notes that surprises can have a significant impact on one's financial well-being, and it's important to prepare for them as much as possible. Housel shares various strategies for preparing for surprises, including emergency funds, insurance, and diversification. Chapter 13. Room for error. Building on the idea of preparing for unexpected events, Housel emphasizes the importance of leaving room for error in financial decision-making. He notes that mistakes and failures are inevitable in personal finance, and having a buffer of safety can provide a sense of security and allow for more experimentation and risk-taking. Chapter 14. You'll Change. Housel explores the idea that personal finance is not just about managing money, but it's also about managing personal growth and change. He notes that people's values, goals, and priorities can change over time, which can have a significant impact on financial decision-making. Housel emphasizes the importance of flexibility and adaptability in personal finance, as well as being mindful of one's own biases and tendencies. Chapter 15. Nothing's free. In this chapter, Housel continues to explore the concept that nothing in life is truly free. He emphasizes that this principle applies to both financial and non-financial decisions, and that it's crucial to consider the full range of costs and benefits when making choices. This includes not just the immediate and obvious costs, but also the hidden costs and long-term consequences that may not be immediately apparent. One of the key insights Housel shares is the importance of understanding the trade-offs involved in financial decisions. For example, investing in the stock market may provide the potential for higher returns, but it also carries higher risk. On the other hand, keeping money in a savings account may provide more stability, but it also offers lower potential returns. Another important point Housel makes is the power of compound interest. He explains that even small differences in interest rates or fees can have a significant impact on long-term savings and investment returns. He also notes that the earlier you start investing, the more time your money has to grow, thanks to the power of compounding. Housel goes on to discuss the idea that many seemingly free things actually come with hidden costs. For example, free apps and services often make money by collecting and selling user data, and free trials or introductory offers can sometimes lead to costly subscriptions or contracts. He advises readers to be mindful of these potential costs and to carefully consider whether the benefits outweigh the risks. Finally, Housel concludes the chapter by urging readers to take a long-term view of their financial decisions. He notes that while it can be tempting to focus on short-term gains or losses, the most successful investors and savers are those who think about the long-term impact of their choices. By considering the full range of costs and benefits, and by understanding the power of compound interest, anyone can make smarter financial decisions and achieve greater financial security over time. Chapter 16. You and Me. In Chapter 16, Housel emphasizes that the way we handle money is heavily influenced by our relationships with the people around us, especially those closest to us. He argues that financial success is often more about behavior and psychology than it is about understanding complex financial theories, and that the most important financial lessons are often learned through interactions with others. Housel explains that when it comes to money, our decisions don't exist in a vacuum. They are shaped by our relationships with family, friends, colleagues, and society as a whole. He encourages readers to be mindful of the impact that their financial decisions may have on the people around them, and to be aware of how their own biases and emotions can influence their behavior. Chapter 17. The Seduction of Pessimism. In Chapter 17, Housel explores the tendency for humans to focus on negative events and potential outcomes, even in the face of overwhelming evidence of progress and improvement. He notes that pessimism can be seductive because it allows us to feel like we're in control by preparing for the worst, but it can also be detrimental to our ability to make sound decisions and appreciate the good in our lives. Housel uses historical events like the Great Depression and World War II to illustrate how even in the darkest times, there were still positive developments and progress being made. He also touches on how the media plays a role in amplifying negative news and how social media exacerbates this tendency towards pessimism. Housel suggests that we should strive for a balanced perspective, acknowledging both the negatives and the positives in any situation. By doing so, we can better appreciate the good in our lives and make more informed decisions about our finances and other aspects of our lives. Chapter 18. When You'll Believe Anything. In this chapter, Housel explores the power of beliefs and how they can influence our behavior and decision-making. He argues that beliefs are often formed based on anecdotal evidence or personal experiences rather than rigorous analysis, which can lead to misguided beliefs and decisions. Housel provides several examples of how people's beliefs have led to poor financial decisions, such as the belief that real estate prices will always go up, or that a particular stock is a sure thing. He also discusses the dangers of relying on news or social media to form beliefs, as these sources often prioritize sensational stories over accurate information. To counteract the seduction of unfounded beliefs, Housel advocates for a mindset of humility and a willingness to question and test our assumptions. He also emphasizes the importance of seeking out diverse perspectives and avoiding echo chambers that reinforce our existing beliefs. In Chapter 19, All Together Now, Housel emphasizes the importance of teamwork and collaboration in achieving financial success. He notes that while individual effort is important, it's also crucial to have a supportive network of friends, family, and colleagues who share your values and goals. Housel provides several examples of successful partnerships and collaborations, such as the legendary investors Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, who have worked together for decades and achieved remarkable success as a team. He also discusses the benefits of mentorship and how having a role model or guide can help you navigate financial challenges and opportunities. Overall, Housel encourages readers to seek out and nurture relationships that can provide support, advice, and accountability on their journey to financial success. He notes that while personal finance can sometimes feel like a solitary pursuit, it's important to remember that we're all in this together and that we can achieve more by working together than we ever could alone. Now that we've covered the key concepts from The Psychology of Money, let's talk about some actionable steps you can take to improve your financial well-being. 1. Focus on building wealth through multiple income streams. Rather than relying solely on your main job for income, consider diversifying your income streams through side hustles or investments in areas that interest you. This can help increase your earning potential and reduce the risk of relying on a single source of income. 2. Avoid making emotional financial decisions. Emotions like fear and greed can cause people to make poor financial decisions. Take a step back and evaluate the long-term implications of financial decisions before making them. 3. Practice gratitude. While money is important, it's also important to recognize the non-financial aspects of life that bring happiness and fulfillment. Take time to practice gratitude for the things you have, rather than always striving for more money and material possessions. And that's it for today's episode. We covered a lot of ground on the fascinating intersection of psychology and finance, exploring the habits and mindsets that can help us build wealth and achieve financial security. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final question to ponder. How does our understanding of human psychology impact the way we approach and make financial decisions? Thank you for tuning in to our financial adventure, where we explore personal finance through some of the most insightful books in the field. If you found value in our book summaries and actionable items, we encourage you to follow our channel to stay up to date with our latest content. And if you have any suggestions for future book summaries, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep investing in yourself.